Tutorial time! How did we make Fester flea? Well, I started by looking at real fleas. And then, just like the Doberman, I like to draw from the profile. And I came up with the shape I liked, which was with the big butt, maybe a big jaw, kind of a helmet with a little bubble, antenna on top of it. But before that, I started with a bunch of drawings, which was just kind of exploring those shapes with kind of military styles, American, French, whatever, space. And I was also playing with scale a lot because I was originally as a flea, right? So it's supposed to be small compared to a dog, but I thought that would cause a lot of issues actually knowing these guys had to do combat and would be wrestling around with each other. So I ended up enlarging Fester quite a bit. But, some exploratory drawings for the face-off. I finally decided on basically this design right here that you're seeing. And big shelled butt, a bunch of military medals and stuff like that, the big jaw. And then the helmet was a big part of the designs and the story because they were going to mix up their helmets at some point. Ended with my turnaround before I started sculpting. Right here you can see a maquette that my son did, my oldest boy, Nicky. And I usually make maquettes before I go into the right here, which you see, which is more the mold version. And you can see this had 4 arms because originally I thought that'd be really cool to animate 4 arms. I went through the whole process of molding and taking it to full puppet before I decided that I'm going to cut those off because it actually made less clean poses. It got a little busy in there and I wasn't that into it. You see the armature. Everything we make usually is wire. I had some jaw and eyebrow stuff in there that Shell had created, and these are foam latex, which are, of course, painted with balloon rubber, so there's a little bit of flexibility in there. Shell mixing the foam. She was the master of foam latex. She had learned so much through doing Gerald that she was taking on all the puppet casting. See our big monster mold. Ugh. We usually open these things up way late at night. It takes about 8 to 10 hours to cook. But you can see every time we took Flea out of his mold, he always came out super duper happy and excited to see us. So it was always a surprise. Did he come out good? You rip him out, and he's just like, yes, I'm here. Animate me, bring me to life. Very happy. So Shell did all the painting. We would always make 3 puppets of every character in the film, so we always had backups, because they're always getting broken or injured, and you always have to put a new one in the rotation as you're doing repairs. A bunch of thumbnails, because the first thing I do usually is test my puppet before I take it into set for the actual filmmaking. So this was the first test I did with him, with Fester, just to see how he felt and how he moved. Just a simple little thing, him climbing over some cinder blocks. Those are actually cinder blocks that we used for Gerald's cage back on Gerald's last day. But it looked good on film, moved well, and I was ready to start animating on Dogonauts. I had 2 puppets.